If I had to explain my style or my business, it's more like a boutique business where it's attention to detail, and I'm very involved. And so from start to finish, you will always have some type of involvement with me. And so when you think of a large retailer, oftentimes you have it's sort of managed by, a tier, but with my business, it's more when you walk into a boutique and the owner is there, you get that concierge level of service. I think because you're always getting the person who cares the most about their business. I think it's to build a relationships. I think much of my business is from building relationships. Much of my business is a referral-based business. And so when you establish the relationship, I think it's long-term. And so reaching out to me via Facebook or Instagram or just emailing me. My website is really easy. It's trinahelps@kw.com. Having a confidant, having someone that you can go to and not an admin who's unfamiliar with the process, who's just processing paperwork. Someone to answer your questions, someone to really just be there for, because it's a critical time in purchasing. There's so many different types of processes. You want somebody there who understands, someone who's able to make you feel comfortable, answer the questions that you need to answer. Just sort of walk you through the process. More like a friend or a friend of the family. First-time home buyers, move-up buyers. I do a lot of relocation from different states, so people coming into or relocating to the area. I handle a lot of that. Investing is another niche of the business that I've been focusing on, taking an investor from acquisition to resale, whether it's a buy and resale or a buy and hold. I'm a part of the global luxury home marketing specialist. Most of my clients, again, are referral based. So someone that I've helped relocate to the area has referred somebody else who has relocated to the area. Oftentimes veterans or doctors that are moving into the area. So doctors that'll come in to the hospitals, or a lot of military that'll come into the area. I've helped a veteran in the past, and they've referred me to someone else. I was actually an esthetician focusing on a skincare therapist, a medical skincare therapist, and my son was about 1 at the time, and I had a client come in who was looking to build their team, and I wanted the freedom or access to have more time in raising my son, and so I think it was just a door open and an opportunity that I thought that could potentially work. And so I sort of jumped in. The first year first 2 years I practiced part-time, and then I jumped in full-time. I wanted the opportunity to afford myself more time as a hands-on mom. Being an esthetician, it's a business where you have to build your clientele. And so I was used to establishing the relationship and building the clientele. So I didn't think twice about it. I didn't realize that there were the challenges that would come, but I wasn't concerned about it because I had been in a business where I had to build clientele. The first couple of years, I'd probably say the first 7 years were extremely tough until I sort of established a niche, or, you win some and you lose some. And so I fell down, bumped my knees, scraped my knees, lost some things until I was able to sort of get my traction and just, sort of figure out what it was, what my area or niche was in the business. Being self-disciplined, because when you're an individual or a real estate agent, it takes a lot of self-discipline to run a business. And in the beginning, I don't think I understood that. I sort of flew by the seat of my pants. But as I progressed in business, I realized that I needed to run my business like a business. And so I would say self-discipline. I think that some days are a challenge, but I know in the back of my head that if I don't get up and do work, no one's going to do the work for me. Philanthropy is really something that's near and dear to my heart. So giving back. And if real estate can help me, if I can use real estate as a platform to give back, then I feel like my purpose has been accomplished. Most recently, I have developed a initiative for homeless women called GLAM. It's called Give, Love, Abide, and Manifest, or God's Love Always Matters. And it's really just a pouch for homeless women. Many people don't, when you think about homelessness, there's many aspects of homelessness that aren't considered, and oftentimes for women they're overlooked. So women receive food and women receive clothing, but they don't oftentimes receive feminine hygiene products. And I remember reading an article and listening to a webinar about it, and it just brought me to tears. And at that moment I decided that I needed to do something about it. And so hence GLAM, or the GLAM pouch, was developed. When things are not right with my client, I take it personally. I take ownership of it. And so I think that sums it up to really very simple. It's building the relationship and making it a household name. The best feeling I've ever had is for the children of my clients to remember that I sold them their house. And that for me is incredible. When I see them, it's the children who come and embrace me, like, that's the lady who sold me my house. There's a lack of trust when it comes to real estate, and a lot of times people have these predetermined ideas about realtors. And if I can change that and help more homeowners understand that it's a process, it should be professional. You should have a realtor who cares. Having a personal consultant that assists you with the home buying process, who has knowledge of the industry, that someone that'll help you consider the pros and cons of a property, to answer your questions, to walk you through the process in its entirety. As a seller, helping you navigate through the home selling process. Making sure that you get what it is that you desire from selling your home. I think I'm a little bit more hands-on and I'm a little bit more detail-oriented. We're going to sit down and we're going to talk about what concerns you most before we list the house. Listing the house is important, but I want to make sure that you understand the process. I want to hear your concerns. I want to hear what it is that you're looking for. And so again, it goes back to establishing that relationship before we even list the home. While listing the home and getting the home is the ultimate goal, me really hearing what it is that you need in a realtor, or what it is that you desire through the process, is really important. I think it all goes back to developing the relationship. It goes back to me wanting to get to know what's important to you. It's walking slowly through the process instead of just coming out and listing your house, because any agent can come out and list your house. There's many agents that'll jump at the opportunity to come out and list your house. I want to hear what it is that you need, what it is that you desire in an agent, so that I make sure that I fulfill those, what it is that you're looking for. I purchased my house, and I had the worst experience. My husband and I built our home. We knew nothing. I wasn't a real estate agent at the time, and I built blindly. I had no knowledge of the real estate process, and I really feel like had I had an agent who was knowledgeable and who walked through the process, I might not have made the choice that I did in building my home. Giving back, I spend time with my family, my husband and my son, church. We travel a lot. I love to travel. But really, it's just giving back to the community. If I can find something where I can give back, or a project that we, I or we can work on, it's definitely something that I'm going to do. Sometimes it's just fear, not having the confidence in myself. Knowing and realizing that I have what it takes, but just taking the step sometimes. In some businesses, you have a ceiling, and in real estate, I realized that there wasn't a ceiling. So the opportunity, the opportunity for growth, just navigating and trying to find that clientele, because I've worked in a different segment of the market, and so just breaking into And more recently, in the last couple of years, I think just having the confidence within myself to know that I could service a luxury client, that I had all of the necessary tools to service a luxury client. I think once I was able to work with a luxury client, I realized that I had what it took to service those types of clients. Just knowing and learning the different types of tools, the different types of clientele, it has provided an opportunity for me to marketing. I will say it has changed a little bit how to market sellers' property through the global luxury property specialist program. You know that you're able to market to 100 different countries. Not many agents are walking in to that same listing appointment with those types of opportunities. My name is Trina Fernandez Epps. I work for Keller Williams Select Realtors in Annapolis, and I've been in the business for 12 years.